they all aware that you despise them?
Looking for company, baby?
No, we're not. Thank you.
It's worth $50 if you get in the back seat with my friend here and just have a little chat.
My pleasure, Mr. Eyebrows.
Ah, boy, here we go.
What's up, everyone? Gojin the Makai Phantom approaching ya, and welcome back to another episode of Deconstructing Insane Nonsense Online. Oh, it's been a bit since I've done one of these, but since I'm not a complete asshole, nor am I a mass outcast, and generally I want people I beat harder than this loser beats me to the reveal of the Chief's ass in the Halo series to deserve it, we're coming back with one of the dumbest individuals I've seen on this platform. No, that is not an exaggeration. If you're familiar with the drama that went on between him and Griffin Gaming, this salty Bungie piss bucket literally was on the verge of suicide just by 343 dropping the PC release of Halo 3 early, only to become twice as psychotic once Griffin caught him out.
First video you made about me, you called me entitled. Huh, that's an interesting claim. It's not true.
But since we're not gonna beat that dead horse here, I'm pretty sure Griffin already traumatized him worse than the 5 minutes in 343's basement. We're gonna take a look at an equally retarded take from our favorite Bungie cuck. This time he's mad he's gotta pay money for a fucking game he wants. Bitch, move to fucking North Korea.
So the fight for Halo Infinite co-op...
Sorry, I wasn't ready for the nightmare fuel that was to come right in front of my eyes. He looks like the offspring of roadkill after getting f***ed by the neighbor's dog with rabies. And by that I mean this piece of shit.
As many of you know, co-op did not ship with Halo Infinite, and it absolutely should have.
I agree with this take 100% actually. While Halo Infinite brought back the heart of Halo, despite what sea creatures like this would have you believe, the laziness and decision-making of 343 was pretty horseshit to say the least. To anybody who isn't caught up with Halo, I'll fill you in on what's been going on with the series these past couple of years. Essentially, around 2010, Bungie released their final installment, being a prequel known as Halo Reach. The game was very good. It gave us a chance to understand the planet we heard about since the very first game, and was all around an engaging story, even if some characters were killed off too early. Despite that issue, it is a favorite amongst many people in the community, and rightfully so. Fast forward 2 years later, a new company gets their hands on Halo under the title 343 Industries. It was a decent start for them. The new weapons aren't satisfying, and some changes in characters were a bit out of nowhere, but the drama around it nonetheless hit many in the feels, and we enjoyed it. But overall, kinda disappointing for a Halo game. 5 came, people really began skeptical of 343 with the new cast being forgettable at best, the lore being too confusing for its own good, and the weapons from the enemy coming off as diet versions to the original weapons. Infinite, on the other hand, was built up to be the savior of Halo, where those of us who were critical or even hated the prior 343 games had faith in it. And on release, it was just as great as we expected. But then the crew started making stupid decisions like calling it a beta, but hardly adding or fixing jack shit on the quote-unquote release version, only for it to take months later to actually polish the damn game. Now I'd say it's a complete package. Not that there isn't stuff that can be added throughout, and we should have had most of this a long time ago, but at this point, who the hell cares? All that matters at this point is the now. Am I saying we shouldn't let it known 343 should make all this accessible in future games? No! But I'm pretty sure the entire community told them off a long while ago. It's why one of the devs felt the need to come out with this lame-ass excuse. To be completely honest, you're just a broke little bitch crying to daddy you didn't get free fries with your fucking Happy Meal. Shut your ass up.
Halo CE in 2001 had co-op campaign at launch. Yes, I understand Halo Infinite is more of a open world type game, still doesn't justify launching a Halo game without co-op.
Okay, well I agree that Halo Infinite came out a little too incomplete. I want to make it clear, we're in a generation that games can update at any given moment. It's why alongside modern gaming being too powerful to run solely on a disc, it needs to download for updates and the like. The original Xbox did not have that technology, and with this ability, it gives people who want to enjoy the game a chance to essentially have non-stop early access. The issue with Infinite is they took forever to get it in the state it should be, but in of itself, releasing a game early isn't entirely a bad thing.
And as many of you know, I am just completely done with Halo Infinite at this point. It actually disgusts me a little bit that I'm actually making a video talking about Halo Infinite right now, but there's something I want to point out, because I don't think everyone has thought about this in this way.
Of course not everyone has. Most people finish developing in their father's nutsack before making its way into our world because the other sperm cells felt sorry for you. I don't think you have the right to be talking about games needing more development when you got less than fucking Cyberpunk 2077.
If you don't own the game, you didn't buy it for $60. If you don't have Game Pass, well, you're gonna have to acquire the game one way or the other if you want to play co-op. You either gotta buy it or you gotta get Game Pass.
Again, no fucking shit. We live in a capitalist society, and whether or not you like that isn't 343's problem. They made the game, you want it, now you need to ask Daddy for some of that Happy Meal money for a fucking Game Pass subscription. Shit isn't even expensive, it's like $10.
I got the Game Pass Ultimate for $1 deal or whatever it was. $1. I got to play the brand new Halo campaign on launch day. And right now I don't have Game Pass. I obviously didn't purchase the game. So if I wanted to play co-op, I'd have to spend a minimum of 10 times what I spent to play the game originally.
That has absolutely fuck to do with 343's lazy decision making. It's on you for doing it on launch day where the game was brand new and had very little content. Which again, it should have had more on release. 343 was lazy. But you weren't obligated to turn it on in this point in time, especially since they made it known they were adding more sometime later.
I played the Halo Infinite campaign for $1 on launch day. You'd have to be out of your fucking mind if you think I'm spending more money just to play co-op. Absolutely no way I will ever fucking do that.
That's how life goes. If you want to play something, you buy it, stream it, or if you really don't want to put a dime on it, pirate the damn thing. God, if you want a free copy so bad, why not hoe yourself on the street for other people's money? Actually, he probably went to 343 Studios himself, dropped his pants, and shown the developers his mutilated coochie that looks like the fucking facehugger from Aliens, only for Phil Spencer to whip out the actual guns instead of a hard copy of Halo Infinite.
And I don't think everyone thinks about it like that. Like, yeah, the co-op update is a free update, there's no additional charge, but that doesn't mean you get to play it for free. Because again, if you don't own the game, or you don't have Game Pass, well, then you have to spend more money to experience co-op, which is just absolutely absurd.
Dude, what the hell? You can't even play solo for free because that's how they make their cash. Just because the damn multiplayer is public service, everything else is not, and even that is more like a never-ending free trial, since in a way you're still paying for it when buying the campaign, since at that point, you're buying the full package.
A lot of people have criticized modern gaming, and modern gaming does indeed suck. Yeah, it's bad out here. It's real fucking bad. But something I've noticed about some people who criticize modern gaming is that those same people will then go support and praise games that are like everything that's wrong with modern gaming.
I'll never understand this mindset of, oh my god, modern gaming sucks. Many of the arguments boil down to coming with some flaws and not enough content, which we already went into that earlier on why that's hardly an issue unless it's absolutely broken or the devs are as lazy as 343 was for months, which most are not. Other arguments boil down to people having to download even if they purchased a disc, but that isn't what a lot of fear-mongering channels want you to believe. It downloads off the disc because it's necessary for that extra power, and allows the ability to update the damn thing. And even the fewer the full original game isn't on that disc, a small portion of it still is, and those gigabytes are how you access the rest. It's a physical copy no matter how you look at it. Microtransactions that you are not obligated to pull money out of your wallet, thus isn't your problem unless it's pay-to-win garbage, which in most cases aren't. The rest is just boomer mindset that's equally retarded as the dude who trashes older games. It's all there. Not to mention there's f***ing indie games to solve problem 1, which does qualify as gaming.
And when it comes to co-op for Halo Infinite, if you're somebody who does not own the game, and you don't have a current Game Pass subscription, and you're actually going to spend more money, you're going to buy the game, or you're going to get a Game Pass subscription just to play co-op campaign, you are the problem.
Bro, Game Pass is so goddamn cheap. How is this an issue? It's like paying for fucking Netflix or HBO Max to watch a movie or TV show you wanted to see. It's not the same as owning it, but that's not the point. It's a gaming streaming service. This fucker literally spent $1 and he's acting like he bought the game for full price. Look, even though you're given the option to cancel your Game Pass subscription, Microsoft would rather you not, especially if you only done one cheap payment that was a small percentage of the actual price. Do you expect Xbox to be like, oh, this guy gave us $1 to play a 60 price game when it was new? Come on aboard and play the new modes. Why don't we just take your pants off, relax, and massage your tiny baby nutsack too? But that's the end of the video. Unfortunately, it isn't the end of mine because the backlash has him on the verge of calling suicide watch, doing 2 Twitter videos looking like a 3rd grader who shit himself.
Hey, so I just want to say something real quick regarding a video I just uploaded, basically talking about how if I want to play Halo Infinite co-op during the flight or when it officially gets added to the game, I will have to spend more money on Halo Infinite.
No, you have to pay money to play the game as a whole. It's like if I canceled my Amazon subscription after watching Amazon Riders, only for them to put The Last Judgment in their library. I knew it was a long time coming and it should have been there from the beginning, but it doesn't cost much money, and in the end, all that matters is the here and now. Not the poor choices you do with your money because you got a deal that was nowhere near the full price that is still extremely cheap. You don't have access to Halo Infinite anymore outside the free-to-play multiplayer. So naturally, you ain't getting access to the co-op.
So when Halo Infinite launched, I played through the campaign for $1 because I bought the Game Pass Ultimate for $1. $1. And now I would have to pay 10 times that amount, minimum, a $10 Game Pass USD, if I want to experience co-op. I'm just pointing out how ridiculous that is.
Because that $1 was temporary. If Microsoft charged Game Pass for $1 each month, then nobody's making shit. It's good for a trial, but other than that, with all the accessible games there, the full price itself is already amazing, being a typical streaming service rate.
Now, yeah, no shit, you have to have access to the game to play it. I'm just pointing out how ridiculous it is.
How is it ridiculous for a company to want to profit off a game that was years in the making? You are right about something like co-op needing to be in the game at launch. I can't stretch that enough, and I hope 343 doesn't do this laziness again. But let's not act like you wasting your $1, which, let's be real, is probably all this loser got from prostitute money, is 343 or Microsoft's problem. Probably why this cocksucker looks like the fucking Wicked Witch of the West. I don't even know what gender this thing was assigned at birth. I'm just gonna make the wild guess it hasn't finished transitioning yet. Halo Infinite wasn't made for that $1 deal of Game Pass in mind. It was made with the priority of getting more subscriptions and furthermore, people buying the physical copy for $60. Like Netflix and other streaming services, Microsoft don't expect people to rely on Game Pass. It's made to be played, then if you like it enough, you pick up the game for full price. Not that just playing it doesn't benefit them, because it sure as hell does, but getting the player to whip out their wallet for full price is their full accomplishment.
Some people are saying, oh, the $1, that's a Game Pass price. That's not $343. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. I'm just pointing out how absurd it is that I'd have to spend more money to experience co-op in a Halo game. More money. Like 10 times the amount than I originally paid.
Just because you scream over and over again, it doesn't matter, doesn't boil down to an argument. If you want to sway people to your hot take, or at least earn an understanding, then I'd suggest actually going in proper detail on why these counter-arguments are wrong. This is 100% an emotional-driven opinion built on sheer idiocy and absolutely nothing else. You had a bad take, you fucked up with your money, deal with it.
That's all I'm pointing out. I mean, I can get in all these comments, oh, this is a bad take, bro. Oh, man, this is a non-issue, dude. Like, I'm just pointing out how ridiculous it is. If you don't see how that's ridiculous, then I don't know what to tell you.
I don't see how quote-unquote ridiculous that is, because every attempt at explaining why, you just resort to the same points over and over again that's already been countered. With this logic of yours, every game should be $1. God damn. But oh boy, he hasn't stopped yet, because he made one final video owning us, explaining in such indisputable facts how we are the clueless ones. We're the ones who need to grow our perspective from the corporate cuckery we're currently receiving. Like, how could anybody doubt this fine gentleman? He looks like the most rational person on earth. In fact, I'd let him sleep with my sister, Jesus! Anyway, let's go and play this high-quality video that was so good. Even YouTube wasn't smart enough to handle such high intellect from one individual.
Man, it is truly incredible how clueless people can be. And I don't know if it's intentional, like people are intentionally pretending to have no idea what's going on. Like, I don't know if that's what it is, or people are just dumb.
My guy, you're going around calling people dumb when your arguments have zero merit to them. I try to hear everyone out, even you. But when your arguments boil down to you not wanting to pay, with your best counter-argument being, it doesn't matter. Newsflash, if you want your opinion taken seriously, you gotta explain why in very good detail on how this is an issue. You're not convincing anybody because there's no good reason for you having this take other than what everybody already suspects you're saying. And we're the dumb ones for not respecting your dog shit opinion.
So I'll explain this in a video. Maybe that'll help some of y'all. Even though I've already explained it in a video, so maybe it won't. But I'll try to further explain it and simplify it for you. So regarding my latest video, I talked about how I will have to spend more money on Halo Infinite if I want to experience co-op, because I don't own the game and I don't have a Game Pass subscription.
Oh no, he's going on the same autistic rant we heard 50 times at this point. Only difference is he's probably on the verge of ripping off his clothes to scream like a fucking chimpanzee with AIDS.
And I played Halo Infinite on launch day with a Game Pass subscription. And I never renewed it, so now if I want to experience co-op, I have to spend more money on the game.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up, we already know.
Yes, I understand how rentals work and subscriptions, and that, Game Pass expires. I understand that you have to own the game to play the game, or have a subscription to play. Like, I get all that. Like, I don't know why people keep talking about that. That's so irrelevant.
You're over here talking like you're the smart one when you can't even grasp why people are bringing this up.
Is that co-op should have been in Halo Infinite at launch, right? It should have been there at launch. I should have been able to experience that at launch when I spent money on a Game Pass subscription to play the campaign.
I'm pretty sure the vast majority of us would agree with you, yes. But the issue here is that's in the past now, and you're over here putting the price of Game Pass on 343 when they had nothing to do with it. Not that Xbox is in the wrong for it either, since it was your choice to play the game when it was brand new. That's the thing about games being released early that I'm not against. As long as there's enough to explore and more comes fast, then in the end, you aren't obligated to buy it right then and there. For fuck's sake, I feel like a broken record at this point. But that's literally what I'm arguing with.
And if you agree with that, then you should have no problem with my recent video talking about how I'd have to spend more. I mean, it's literally a fact. It's a fact. If I want to play co-op, I have to spend more money on the game because I don't have a Game Pass subscription. I don't own the game.
Okay, what exactly are you wanting them to do? What is your goal of making these videos? I fail to understand them. Are you asking Phil Spencer to find it in his heart to let you play it? Or do you just want something to bitch about? Let's be honest, those are the only solutions I'm seeing to this problem of yours. 343 has done a lot of anti-consumer bullshit, and I want to hammer in that fact. Many even had to do with Halo Infinite's development. But what you're doing is making something out of nothing. You know, maybe if you shut the fuck up, Santa would leave a copy in your stocking this Christmas. I'm sure he knows you've been an annoying piece of shit this whole time, but as long as you go the fuck away, I'm willing to bet he'd make a special occasion for the retarded kid.
Yeah, I don't regret spending money on the game when it launched. I only spent $1. I'm not complaining about that. Yes, I was completely aware co-op wasn't there. I knew all that. I don't regret any of that.
This is our problem with you. You're not willing to take any responsibility for your own actions. Then it's fucking settled. You're a spineless dickhead with shit for brains who doesn't know what to do with his life and would probably die in a corner crying if dropped in the middle of Russia with that chick from the WNBA. But Putin sent by $20 is $20. So I think we have reached the end of the video. He has uploaded 2 others doubling down, one of them being a documentary on mischief, but I ain't got enough coffee for this shit. Before we go, I'd like to say, if you've been holding off on Halo Infinite or even took a long break like me, now is a great time to return. It's honestly a really good game, and I stand by it being the best entry to come since Reach. It's nice to see 343 finally adding in what they should have a long time ago. Of course, at this point, it should have had a lot more, but they're owning up to their mistakes. So let's appreciate what we got for the here and now. That being said, please comment your thoughts down below, and if you enjoyed it, please smash that like button, share it around, and subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell for notifications to keep up to date on all my future content. Also check me out on social media and alt tech. Links are in the description down below. Alongside Anime Anteiku, they have been very helpful to the growth of this channel, and I can't thank them enough. If you are into anime and occasional posts of other nerdy stuff, they would certainly provide. This is Gojin the Makai Phantom, leaving the building.
Just try. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too.